I believe there's a critical mindset shift that can completely change your approach to dating. And I've noticed that most guys think that dating is about luck or looks mostly, and while both of those definitely play a role, it's actually a lot more like sales. Think about it, when you're trying to sell something, you don't just expect people to rush to you and buy it with a 100% sales rate. You know that you need to create a valuable product, put in the work to advertise it, work daily to make sales, and give customers a good experience. Dating is the same process in a lot of ways, yet many guys seem to approach things in the opposite way, where they expect women to desire them as they are, put in a low amount of effort to seek out women, they're inconsistent, and they tend to get lazy with providing a good experience. And the first thing I want to talk about is that both sales and dating begins with lead generation. You've probably heard the saying that dating is a numbers game, and that's definitely true. With sales, if you aren't driving traffic to your offer, you aren't going to be generating any leads for potential sales. And dating is the exact same thing. If getting more women is your goal, then putting yourself into high traffic scenarios is critical to even start to get anywhere. I've noticed a lot of guys come to the conclusion that they simply aren't attractive or that they lack the skills to get more dates, but really what they're lacking is volume and repetition. To fix this, you have to think about what your strategy is going to be to increase your traffic, or in other words, your exposure to being seen by women. You can't just sit in the house and expect hot girls to be Amazon Prime to your doorstep, and you can't expect to get anywhere sending out a few messages per week on a dating app. In terms of developing a strategy, this will either be something like online dating apps for some people, while others will prefer to meet girls in person. If it's online dating apps, the best use of your time is going to be paying for the premium version of an app like Hinge and sending out a high volume of messages every day consistently. If it's in person, one of the best strategies is going to be getting a job in an environment that has a lot of attractive women around and also positions you in a place of status to some degree, like being the bartender at a trendy bar or a personal trainer at a popular gym. Now, if you're someone that has a more boring job with less exposure to women on average, then you're going to have a phase for a while where you go out multiple times per week to develop a social life, and you're also going to have to put an effort into really pursuing new hobbies and trying things out. In my own experience, the better strategy is a blend of both. The key point here is that you want to position yourself to where you're being exposed to a wide variety of women consistently, just like you would want with a wide variety of customers with a product that you were selling. It's like YouTube. The more views that you get, the more chances of getting subscribers. And not every viewer will subscribe, but without any views, you're not going to get any subscribers at all. Just remember that your chances of succeeding or experiencing luck is something that increases as you increase your exposure to the thing that you're trying to obtain. It isn't entirely random. Now, in order to convert leads to sales, it's always much easier to convert when you have a product that is genuinely valuable. When you're selling something that you don't believe in, you have to resort to slimy sales tactics and giving off a sketchy vibe that other people can feel. To translate this into dating, you have to work on building up your weak points in order to be a product worth buying. We as men don't have the virtue of being sought after just for existing and looking pretty, so the burden is on us to forge ourselves into something worthy. Now, the good news here is that the bar is so low these days that it doesn't take much to stand out from the crowd. Now, that doesn't mean to aim low. In fact, you should do the opposite and set higher standards for yourself. But do realize that while there are a lot of guys in the dating field in terms of volume, meaning there are tons of guys around trying to get women online and in person, the quality and ability of those guys is actually very, very low on average. Most guys are failing at some phase of the game or another, whether it's physical attraction, mindset, ability to talk to women, emotional control, etc., etc. And when you develop yourself into a product that you believe in, it becomes a lot easier to be confident and self-assured. And then that makes turning those leads into something more meaningful a lot easier. Now, if you're familiar with sales at all, you've probably heard the saying to always be closing, and it rings true for dating. We live in a modern society that is superficial in many ways and highly distracting. This is especially true for beautiful women. They have guys throwing themselves at their feet every day, so it's easy for them to get distracted by another option that pops up. Now, because of this, it's best to avoid emotionally investing too much at first with any potential lead. Just like with sales, a good salesman doesn't put all of his hopes into one single client or sale. Instead, he is always gathering leads and moving potential clients along the sales process. If one happens to drop off, it's not a huge deal because he has more in the pipeline. With dating, you'll go through dry spells and sudden surges of women all at once. There's an ebb and flow to things. And you'll also experience flakes no matter how attractive you are. Because of this, it's best to always be talking to multiple girls and not emotionally investing too much into any single one unless you're at a point where you want a relationship and you have been talking to a girl long enough to where that makes sense. But if you've known a specific girl for a few months, just keep talking to others, because it also serves a dual purpose of keeping your head clear to help you better evaluate her and if she's actually a girl worth keeping around or not. Talking to other women helps prevent delusions with any single one, and this is critical as men because many guys are prone to seeing certain women as angels while ignoring their flaws completely. So always be closing. Now, one more thing I want to mention here is that in sales, a satisfied customer is a repeat customer, and again, this rings true for dating. We as people are loyal to products and companies that treat us well and give us a positive experience. We will keep coming back for more, and we will often not even consider using another product or company if the experience is exceptional. Now, whether you're in a relationship or wanting to stay single, providing a good experience for a girl to keep coming back is critical. Anytime you're with a girl, you should really emphasize making it a positive experience, and remember the golden rule: be attractive, don't be unattractive. In the same vein, I'm of the opinion that if you're a guy that wants to stay single and play the field, it's never a good idea to just get rid of girls or to treat them badly. Now, there's many reasons for this, but in general, you don't want to develop a trail of angry women that hate you, and your bad reputation can actually spread quickly in some cases. I've personally seen this happen with a guy, and he lost out on a girl that he really liked because of it. And on a positive note, you also never know when girls may come back around and want to hang out again. A girl you hooked up with a couple years ago can easily come back around if she had a good experience with you the first time. My personal philosophy is to play it cool and be good to people, because it pays off in the long run and it makes life easier, even if you deal with a bad customer, so to speak, here and there. And you can be the single ladies man that many women love without resorting to cowardly tactics and bitter treatment of women. And I know some guys will angrily disagree with this, but it can be done without putting women on a pedestal or simping, and I never endorse pedestaling or simping for women. And it goes without saying that customer retention is definitely important if you're in a long-term relationship, or else that relationship isn't going to last very long. But long-term relationship game is a whole nother topic in itself. But anyway, with all that said, if you want to check out some of the things I have to offer, check the links down in the description below. Make sure you watch this video next. Thanks for watching, my man, and I will see you in the next one.